Unlikely scenes, calm on the front line here in Jobar district, where a cutthroat battle has been raging for years as rebels try to push towards the Syrian capital and the Syrian army tries to stop them. The much anticipated ceasefire that many hoped would be a turning point in the Syrian conflict could mean the difference between life and death here.
I certainly hope for an end for all of this. But for now, we don't know if the truce will work or fail. But we will be ready either way. Personally, I would prefer the fighting to stop long enough for me to go see my family.
Less than a kilometer away on the streets of Damascus, people are celebrating Eid al-Adha. The week-long holiday has created a relaxed mood in the capital, although the prospects of peace have created mixed response.
The agreement will be implemented throughout Syria, and we want peace to prevail permanently and not just for a couple of days when the war restarts the next day.
This is a good gesture and should lead to a reconciliation to end the bloodshed in Syria and try to rebuild the country.
A nationwide ceasefire has been attempted several times in Syria before, with limited success. Experts are doubtful whether this time will be any different.
Many attempts were made to establish a ceasefire, but this time it is a joint American-Russian effort. I don't know if both trust each other enough to uphold the deal. Also, we have to remember that the major fighting force for the rebels is made of radical militants who won't agree to such a deal. For them, this is an ideological struggle, and trying to impose such an agreement could in fact break the strongest of rebel factions in the country.
But if the deal fails, it remains to be seen how much more destruction and fighting the country can bear before falling apart completely. With over 500,000 dead, millions displaced, and tens of thousands of foreign jihadists roaming the country, the outlook is not promising. The Syrian government welcomes the US-Russian ceasefire agreement, but major rebel factions like Ahrar al-Sham has refused to adhere to it. Almost every rebel faction with jihadists on its ranks seems to be reluctant to take the deal. And without these factions, the rebels don't stand a chance against government forces, making the prospects of peace in Syria difficult, to say the least. Alaa, Ebrahim, CCTV, Damascus.